everybody, it's Pina here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really nice little remote control caddy or phone caddy, and it's for the sofa. You just put it over the armrest of the sofa and you just pop your remote control in there, or your phone, or anything that's that you want by your side. So for example, I've got a remote control here and I've got a phone here, so you can pop your phone and your remote control into the caddy. So this caddy it consists of a bobble stitch pocket, 2 pockets, bobble stitch. So it also consists of this half double crochet flappy bit which will go over your armrest, and that will just fold over your armrest, and as you'll see in the picture on this video how it goes. And then you've got your remote control and your phone or whatever you want into the 2 pockets. So today I'm going to show you how to make this. So for this I'll show you what you'll need to get started, and what yarn you'll need. Now the yarn you'll need for this is I've got this colour. I'm using this colour today because I haven't got any of this colour, but this is just the same kind of yarn. It's a DK acrylic yarn. It's in a cream colour, and this one here is in a different colour, but I'm going to show you for the tutorial purposes this colour. And this is Women's Institute premium acrylic yarn, 100 grams DK. Okay, if you can't find that in your own country, just use any DK yarn. It doesn't matter really what yarn you use, but this particular yarn will give you this kind of size for your remote control and phone. So now the shade of this one is, if you want to use this colour, it's called Denim, and it's 272, and you need a 4mm hook with this, but I'm going to be using a 3.5 with this particular project. And as you can see, it's a really nice colour actually. It's like a denim blue, bluey, purpley blue. So I'm going to be using that one today. Now with this yarn you're going to also need, like I said, a 3.5mm hook, okay, and a pair of scissors, a needle for tying in your ends, and you're also going to need some stitch markers. So I've got 4 here, okay, so you'll need that as well. So now let's get started on the project. I'm just going to pop that aside. Now to start this project, what we're going to do first, we're going to do the flap first, this bit here which goes over the armrest. I'm going to be doing that bit first, and then the pockets are separate, and that's going to be attached to this, so that you know, the back is just plain and the front has got the pockets, and I'm going to attach the pockets separately once I've done this bit here. So let's get started with this bit first. So to start with, grab your hook and your yarn, and we're going to do 100 chains. Okay, so do your loop and loop it onto the hook like so, your starting loop, and then we're going to do 100 chains from here. So carry on doing 100 chains. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to continue doing 100, and I'll meet you right back when you've done 100 chains. Okay, so I've done 100 chains here, as you can see. So that's the length of the caddy, but if you want it even longer, because your armrest is a bit more thicker than my one or whatever, you can do as many chains as you want. You can do it as long as you want. Just make sure it measures up to the armrest, over your armrest, how much you want it to hang over. You know, just make sure you do that. But for mine, it's 100 is fine for my one. So you know, just this is, you can choose any length you want for this part of it. So now what I'm going to do is, I've done 100 chains here. I'm going to add 2 more chains. Okay, so from here just add 2 more chains, so that's 1 and 2. Okay, Now the third chain from the hook, 1 2 3, this one here, we're going to yarn over and we're going to insert a hook into there, pull up a loop and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So that's your first half double crochet. Okay, so now from here we're going to yarn over again into your next chain. We're going to insert a hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 3 again. That's another half double crochet. Yarn over into the next chain, just there. We're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over into the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over and then pull through all 3. So that's half double crochet. So continue, let's continue all the way down. So we're going to go like this and yarn over and pull through 3 and yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 3. So these are half double crochets all the way, and the whole of this part of the project is half double crochets except for the pockets. So half double crochet, half double crochet, half double crochet. There we go. So continue this all the way down to the end of the chains, and when you get to the very end I'll show you what to do before you turn, and so that's how it's supposed to look. So meet you at the very end when you've done all your half double crochets till you get to the very end, and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so I've done my half double crochets all the way down, as you can see, and I've come to the end, and now at the end we're going to chain up 2. Now every row we're going, before we start the next row, we chain up 2. So 1 2, turn your work. Now that you've turned your work, you're going to continue again, yarn over and into this stitch here, as you can see, this next stitch here, we're going to yarn over and insert a hook and do a half double. So continue along doing half doubles all the way so that you've got that look. Okay, so continue half doubles, half double crochet all the way down. There we go. So that's half double crochets. Now continue, and when you get to the other end you're going to do the same again. You're going to chain up 2, turn your work and continue, and keep going until you've done 20 rows. You need 20 rows, not including the chains that you did, but that's 1 row, that's 2 row, and I'm going to do another 18 rows after this to make 20 rows of half double crochet. So once you've done your 20 rows, it will give you the width of my sample, which I'll show you in a second. So it will give you this width here, okay, which is, if you want me to measure that, I can measure that width as well. So just grab my tape measure and I'll show you how much wide. So that's about 7 inches wide, about 7 inches. Okay, so that's how wide this caddy is. All right, so continue along and do your half double crochets until you've got 20 rows, and I'll meet you right back here and show you what to do next. Okay, so I've come to the end of these 20 rows, and I'm just going to do my last 2 half doubles, and don't forget that very last one there, so I'm going to yarn over and go into that one as well. Okay, so now what you can do is you can either do this and tie off. I'm going to just cut my yarn from here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so there you have it. There's your full length 20 rows of half doubles to make the arm bit of the caddy. And now for the pocket. So we need the pockets, which is this one here. So basically it's 10, I think 10 rows. That's, yes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 rows of the bobble stitch. And of course we've got single crochet rows in between. And then when you finish, we're going to section off by sewing the center panel, and then you've got 2 pockets out of one big piece. Okay, so let's get started on the pockets now. So just pop that aside for now. We don't need this for now. Just pop that aside. Okay, so I'm going to grab some more yarn, and from here we're going to do 22 chains. So do a slip knot onto your hook like that, and do 22 chains. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't do them too tight, by the way. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 chains. There you go, 22 chains. Now from here we're going to do a row of single crochet. So put your hook into the second chain from the hook, just there, this one here, and do a single crochet, and then single crochet into the next chain, single crochet into the next one, single crochet, all the way along. There you go. So that's your single crochet row. Okay, so now that you've done your single crochet row until the end, we're going to turn our work. We're not going to chain anything at this stage. We're just going to turn our work like that. Loosen up a little bit the first loop, and we're going to continue now, start our first bobble stitch. Okay, and there's no chains, if you noticed. I'm just going to pull that a little bit longer than it should be, and we're going to yarn over like that, and into that same space we're going to insert our hook, and we're going to pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the same space again, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over into the same space, pull up a loop and pull through 2. Now you should have 6 on your hook. We've got 5 now, so yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop and pull through 2. Now I've got 6 loops on my hook. Now always remember to have 6 loop on your hook. I think you go in 5 times to get 6 loops on your hook. So now what you do is you yarn over and pull through all 6, and then that's your first bobble. So we're going to now pin it down into the next single crochet, insert a hook and do a single crochet. Okay, now again into the next single crochet space, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2. That's 1 time in, that's 2 times, 3 times into that stitch, 4 times, and 5. So that 5 times into the stitch gives you 6 loops onto your hook. So yarn over and pull through all 6. Now what you do is, next stitch you do a single crochet like that, and then continue again into the next stitch with a bobble stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through the first 2, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through the next 2, and again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 6. Next stitch, single crochet, and next stitch is a bobble stitch. So we're just going to do 5 times into the same stitch, and if you don't have to count 5 times, but as long as you've got at the end 6 loops on your hook, no more no less, 6 loops on your hook. So I've got 6 there, pull through all 6, and then insert your hook into the next stitch and do a single crochet. As you can see, so that's how it looks from this side. So I'll do one more and then I'll let you carry on until the end and show you how to turn your work. So yarn over again, and we're going to do another bobble stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's 6 on your hook. So again, single crochet, next stitch. So continue along with the same pattern as I've just done, and you should end up with a bobble stitch at the very end. So that's what you need to end up with, a bobble stitch. So carry on till the very end, and I'll meet you back when you get to your last stitch. Okay, so I've come to the end and I've done my last single crochet before my next stitch, which is going to be the last one, very last one, which is the bobble stitch. So I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go into that stitch just there. You see that V there, the last V, don't miss that out, and I'm going to go into there and I'm going to do my last bobble stitch. Okay, and pull through. Okay, from here we're going to, before we turn our work, we're going to chain 1, turn the work. Now this next row, because this is a 2-row repeat, is going to be just single crochet all along the top of the bobbles. We've done the bobble, single crochet, next stitch is a bobble and single crochet, bobble, single crochet, and so on. So this row, like I said, is just a single crochet row. So in the next top of your bobble stitches, you can just see them there, as you can see, look, there's a so in the next few stitches here on top of the bobbles, you can see V's. So there's a big V, little V, big V, little V, big V. All these V's have to be worked into. So I'm going to start by doing a single crochet into that first V. Into the next V, just there, I'm going to do another single crochet. Into the next V, just there, another single crochet. Into the next V, just there, another single crochet, and then again all along, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet into the V's on top of the bobbles. You can just see them there. You see? So I'm just going to go into that V there, and so on. Single crochet. Try not to miss any of them out. Make sure you get all of those V's. and the last one just there. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're just going to turn your work again, and we're going to pull this a little bit loose like before, and we're going to start our bobble again, the first bobble stitch like we did before. Yarn over, insert your hook, and do 5 into your stitch there. That's 5, and then I've got 6 on my hook. Hook, pull through all 6, and then in the next stitch, single crochet, and then continue again with the bobble stitch. And then once you've done that bobble stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, the same as before. So as you can see, you've got like a 2-row repeat. So you've got bobble, single, single is the next, single crochet is the next row. So continue down here with the bobble stitch row, single crochet in between each bobble, and I'll meet you at the end to show you how to complete the row. Okay, so I've come to the end and I've got 2 more stitches left, and you should end up with a bobble. So I'm going to do my next single crochet, and then in that last stitch there, as you can see, I'm going to do my bobble. So there we go. So do 5 of those in there. And then 6 on your hook, pull through 6, and you're ready to start the next round. So you chain 1 there and turn. So there you have it. We're going to do the single, now don't forget, single crochet all the way around, so it's a 2-row repeat. So in the this next round is only single crochet. So in the next V, just there, single crochet, and all the way along single crochet. Do 10 rounds of bobble stitch, but don't forget, in between you've got your single crochets. So as long as you've got 10 rounds of bobble stitch, so it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and of course the single crochets in the middle, don't forget those. So when you finish, you should end on a bobble stitch, not a single crochet, but the bobble stitch. So you end on the bobble stitch, and then we then start to attach the pocket to the base. So I'll meet you back when you've done all your 10 rows of bobble stitch. Okay, so I've done all my rows, as you can see, and this is what it looks like. You'll have a little square, like a square piece. Now I'm just going to tie off my work now. So I'm just going to get my hook now that I've finished my last row, and just tie off your work. Now at this stage, I've just put a hook, sorry, I've just put a stitch marker just there, because I know that's the bit where I want the bottom of the pocket to be attached, and there's the top bit. It's just, you don't have to have it that way, but that's how I prefer it. So I'm going to put this pocket on, sew this pocket onto here. So measure it up, it's perfectly, it fits perfect. So get the ends level, and you're going to just stitch mark that. But before you do that, before you put your stitch markers to hold it into place, because I prefer it that way you can just single crochet all the way around without any problems. But I'm gonna actually just tie my ends in right now. So to tie your ends in, literally you just get your needle and you're going to just grab an end like that, and then just sew it in anywhere. So I'm just going to sew these in just behind here somewhere. Okay. Right, you don't have to go too mad because it's going to be inside the pocket, so you don't have to go too mad. So sew all your ends in, and I've got another end here which I'm going to sew in as well. Once you've sewed those ends in, and the ends on here too, so I've got one here and one on the other end, I'll come back to you and I'll show you how to attach this pocket to the arm bit. So I'll meet you back here after your ends are done. Okay, so now that you've tied all your ends in, so as you can see, this is two-sided, so you can use any side. So it's exactly the same on both sides, so it doesn't really matter. So that's fine. This is obviously one-sided, so you can't use that side. And then we're going to attach this to the armrest. So I'm going to now position this, if you can see, there you go. I'm going to position this so it's nice and level with, as you can see, the back and the front. So I'm just going to grab my stitch markers and I'm going to put one in one corner like this. Just put it anywhere, it's not really important where, as long as it's attaching to the back. So I'm going to attach this bit as well. And stick my stitch marker right there. Okay, so that's 2 stitch markers, making sure it's all level at the back as well. And then I'm going to now do the side bits here. Just attach my, in the corner bit, just in the corner here. And then I'm going to attach into the other corner, making sure it's nice and level. Put another stitch marker just there. There we are, that should do it. And I might just do one more just here to keep that in place. So you can see it's all exactly the same width, front and back. It's all matched up and it's perfectly ready to sew on. So I'm just going to show you how that looks, just like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to start with a single crochet, joining this pocket all the way around. So we're going to do single crochet all the way around with the pocket, sewing the pocket on the way, and then after that we're going to divide the pocket. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so now to attach the pocket, I'm just going to turn my work this way, and we're going to start here, and I'm going to grab my yarn and we're going to insert. I'm going to take the stitch marker off first. We're just going to insert our hook into this corner here of one of the bobbles, okay, and we're going to put that into a stitch from this side and attach it that way. Okay, so now you've got your hook in both sides. It doesn't matter exactly where you pop it in, because this side hasn't got any stitches. This is our, don't forget, that's our foundation chain where we started. So of course you're not going to have the V's on the top, so but it doesn't matter, you can still pop your hook in any space you find that's parallel to the bobble, and then we're going to attach our yarn. So I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it through. Okay, chain 1, and then just do another single crochet into that same space that you've just come out of. Do another single crochet, and there you go. Just pull that tight a little bit, and I'm going to weave my ends in as I go along. So there's my end there. I'm just going to weave it in. You can sew it in at the very end, but it's up to you. So again, grabbing any space that you see from the front and from the back. So I'm going to grab a space just there from the front, not grabbing too much of the bobble, but just these bits here. I'm grabbing the very first, and I'm going into the back as well. So I'm going to pull up a loop and do a single crochet. Let's tighten that up. Again, into the front and into the back, do a single crochet. Into the front, into the back as well, single crochet. Front and back, making sure you do pull the back as well. You need something from the back, single crochet. Front and back, single crochet. Front and back, single crochet. Front and back, single crochet. You see, it's gathering both sides, so make sure you do, because you don't want to leave any gaps from the back, so make sure you do. So I'm just going to show you as I go along. Front and back, single crochet. Front and back, single crochet. And I'm holding it quite tight so that the front and the back, as you can see, can be done together, because there's no distinctive stitch here, so you just using your imagination where the hook should go, and grab both front and back, but don't go too far into the bobble, just the edge here, as you can see. So front and back, front with the back, front and back. Oops. Gives it that nice smooth finish. So just going to keep going until the corner, front and back, okay. So now I'm nearly at the corner here. I've got my stitch marker there, so I'm going to grab it and take it out in a moment. Do one more stitch and take this stitch marker out now. We don't want that. And now that you've done that, you're going to go into, I'm going to do one more stitch just there, and then we're coming into a corner. So now that you come to the corner, we're just going to go into the V that's just on the last bobble there. That should be at the end. So I'm going to put my hook into the V and grab a bit from the back, and then do 3 single crochets. So that's 1, 2 and 3, and that will just make your corner and turn your work ready for this way round. So now we're coming to the bottom or the base of the caddy, and we're just going to go along as you go, sort of thing, where you just put your hook in to any space that you see, making sure you're not grabbing too much of the bobble. You just want to grab a little bit of the bobble or the end of the bobble, and then put your hook through to the other side, and then you just keep going until just grab a bit from the other side. That's it. So as you can see, you've still got the bobble showing. It's not been worked into too deeply, so just at the edges of the bobble and into the back you need to put your hook in. So I'm just going to put my hook into a space that I see, and just do a single crochet in each of these little spaces that I see. There's a space there, so I'm going to put that into the back as well. Into the back, and then oops, there we go. So wherever you see a space, your hook in and just front and back, just grab both sides. Here we go. Okay, so we're nearly there at the other corner. Stick my hook into the last space or two. And then I'm going to take my stitch marker off again at this bit. And then again we're going to go into, I think I can do one more stitch before I do my 3 in the corner. Just judge where the corner is roughly, and that's not my corner one yet. So now I'm going to do my corner one. I'm going to go in the top of this bobble here. There's a little space there where the bobble is, and do my corner and there, and then you just do 3. So that's 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and that then turns your work round to the other side, and then again you do the same thing. This side's a little bit easier because you've got the V's going down, so you can match them up perfectly, so that's a little bit easier. So just going to go down the side of this one, pick up both stitches on both sides. So now I'm just doing my V's, both V's on this side and V's on that side. And then take the stitch marker off, and again single crochet and then single crochet. I think that's the last bobble here. Just going to check that yes, that's the last stitch on that bobble. So what you do is now just carry on doing single crochet all the way down. Now it's all single crochet because the stitches are all there basically, pretty much. This side you have to judge by the spaces and go in and do your single crochets. So I'm just going to go right the way up, and I'm going to come back in a moment and show you how to do the corner. So continue single crocheting all the way up till this corner here, and I'll show you how to do the corner. Okay, so I've come to the end of this line here of single crochets, and I've just come to the corner bit here, and I'm going to just do another couple of single crochets to finish off, and then the very last one just here, I'm going to put my hook in there and do 3 single crochets. So it's 1, 2 and 3. So that produces your corner. Okay, so you've got a nice corner there, and then you just work your way all the way down this end. Now this end hasn't got any V's again, as you can see, it's just spaces. So what we're going to do, we're going to work into the spaces and space them out evenly. So I'm just going to go into, just use your mind where you want to put them. Try to get them into grab a bit of the yarn into the space, like so. And I'm going to put one in there. And I'm going to put one in, and one in here. Just try and work out where you can put your stitches evenly spaced out. So I'll put mine in between each of these strands that I find. So that you get this nice neat edging. So continue all along. There we go. So just keep going until you reach the end. Till you reach the end, and then I'll show you how to do 3 singles in that corner and work our way all the way down. Okay, so I've come to the end of this top bit here where we've done single crochet all along, and now to the corner. So we've done that one corner there, and we're going to do this next corner. So in the last stitch here, that V, I'm going to put my hook in, and I'm going to do 3 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's your next corner. And now we're going to work our way down the side, and the side here hasn't got any V's. It's just the foundations chain stage here, so you're not going to see any V's. So you just put your hook into the spaces like this. So I'm just going to put my hook into there, and then into there, and just evenly space them out into each space evenly though. So I'm going into the top of every one of these half doubles, so I'm going to go into the top of them. So that's, can you see, just on the top of there, we're going to go into there. Oops. That's where you know it's evenly spaced. So into the top of each of these, where you see the space that's just on the top, just here, these little spaces. I'll do a few more so you can see. See, just there on top of that one, and then on top of that one, and work your way along exactly the same way until you come to near the end, and I'll show you how to finish off. Okay, so I've come to the end of this side, and I'm just going to do my last couple of stitches. So I'm just going to pop that in to this one, and then one more there, and then back to the very first single crochet we did, and we do a slip stitch just like that, slip stitch. Okay, and then for this bit you just chain one and just cut off your yarn. So grab scissors and just cut that off. So now that you've got, there you go, so now you're going to sew your ends in. You can sew them now or you can sew them later, but what I'm going to show you now, I'm going to go and do my ends, just tie them in, and then I'm going to show you how to divide the pockets. It's very simple, straightforward. Stitch in the middle just to divide the pockets into two. Okay, so I've tied all my ends in are tied in now, and that's how it looks at the moment. Now we're just going to separate these pockets. So we're going to count 5 in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bobbles, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in between one set of 5 and the other set of 5 bobbles, we're going to sew down the middle. So you've got 10 bobbles, remember, and just in between the 10 we're going to sew just down the middle. So I'm going to grab my needle and my bit of yarn, a fair amount, cut off a bit just for that bit there. It's not going to be too much, only got about that much really, and then thread your needle like so. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're literally just going to sew down the middle. Now to do this, that's your pocket, your one pocket. You could leave it as one pocket if you really wanted to, but it's nice to have 2 compartments. That way you can put one remote control or a phone, or 2 different remote controls. So I'm going down the middle, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just the center. So from the middle, just at the bottom, starting from the bottom, we're just going to thread our yarn through. Okay, so now just get your needle and your yarn, and you're going to do like a whip stitch. So for this, you're just going to go into the middle here, in the middle of the 10 bobble stitches. So obviously you count the 5, and then you've got the middle bit, and then you've got the other 5 bobbles. So in that center bit there where the single crochet was made, we're going to do a whip stitch. So we're just going to go grab some of the center of where the single crochet is and do a whip stitch like this, and again go in and out, being careful not to grab the bobble. You don't want to grab the bobble. All you want to do is grab the middle of where the single crochet row is, and you want to go right in and follow the line like so, right to the top until you get to the top of the of this center bit. So I'm just grabbing that middle bit there and just pull your yarn, tighten it, and then I'm going to go into it again, tighten it, into it again, tighten it, and making sure you are grabbing the back as you're going along. You need to grab the back as well to form the pockets, otherwise you won't be having 2 pockets there, and that's what we're aiming for, 2 pockets. And there you go, nearly to the end. So I'm just going to turn my work, and easy to hold this way, and carry on in the same direction. The whip stitch is in the same direction. And as you can see, the center bit there is all sewn up. and I'm not grabbing any of the bobbles on the way. There we go. Right, coming towards the end. And I'm just going to finish off here by just maybe doing a double like so, go in and at the back, so I pull my yarn to the back like that, and then of course you can weave your end in. You can either do it from inside or from the back, but it won't show either way. So I'm just weaving my ends in just in that center bit where I've just stitched at the back like so, and then you can come back up on yourself. And then you can just cut off right now. So I'll just cut the yarn off. Now that I've completed that, I'm going to now just sew in my tail end. So you can sew that in the back somewhere. Like so. Okay, so that's sewn in, and I'm just going to snip that off, and there you have it. There's your remote control caddy for your sofa, and it's pretty long, and then you've got the pockets, which is 2 compartments, and you can put your remote control in one side like so, and you can put your phone in the other side like so. And it's quite stretchy, so you can fit any size phone or remote control, and you can flap that over your armrest, and you'll never lose your phone or remote control ever again. If you want to know the measurement of this altogether, if it's suitable for your sofa, I'll get my tape measure and just measure it, and I'll tell you how long it is. But of course, as I said, if you really want to make it longer, you can do. There's no problem with that. So I'll just measure it so you can see how long it is. Okay, so now this is about 24 inches in length. 24 inches in length. Okay, that's 24 inches. And the width, as I said, I think I told you in the beginning, that's about 6 inches or so. So it does stretch a bit, so 6 or 7 inches wide. So that is the length of this remote control caddy. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video and seeing how this is made. I've got the other colour here for you to have a look. So I've got 2 colours. Depending on your sofa colour, and you want to match your sofa colour, you can do. So I've got a cream one, and I've got this denim blue one, and I will leave the description below of the colours that these are, and you can choose whatever colour you like. And of course, feel free to use any other colour that you particularly like to use for your sofa. So please like and subscribe, and hit on the notification bell for more of my videos, and I'll see you again in the next video. Okay, bye for now.